Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slander. This is week 2 of the show. A little bit different of a cast than I'm sure you guys were expecting. If you had watched last week's. Um, I kind of had to step in. I was not happy with the quality of Simon's mic last week, so I'm here now to keep him in check. Make
No,
sure that production is high quality
Computer
this
just
time.
crashed.
No shot.
there's no
Wait,
way.
No, it
is he good,
actually
Tom?
just shit itself right now.
Classic.
Bro,
I don't know if stream can hear him or not. So Clem's working on it. Clem is just sitting there like an absolute dumbass right now.
Oh,
He is just.
and he's
Oh,
gone.
and he's gone.
There went.
oh,
Well,
all right, we lost Clem. Okay,
Uh-oh.
well,
we'll get him
Man.
back.
This,
this is looking like the Wooly of
no.
Clem's
yeah.
the Wooly of Bronze Banter,
this started
It's
well.
like
Okay.
a curse.
This started well.
or Wooly of Silver Slander.
Somebody's destined to be scuffed at some point if I'm in charge. Typically it's
Yeah.
me, but Australia internet plus I don't know what Clem's issue is. Clem's just a skill diff.
Yeah.
Real.
But
Too real.
No better time than to start with the first topic.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I guess we can go ahead and start. Simon, just make sure that make sure to re-add Clem's video because that was something I forgot to do last time.
Do you want to pull up the code? So I can pull the code.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Wait, I gotta
So as we're waiting for Clem, also you're streaming.
yeah, I know. I'm pulling it.
Okay. Just letting you know.
I had to. I know that.
I love how scuffed we are.
No.
There it is. So, yeah. While we're waiting for Clem to figure out his internet, let's get into the first topic. So, the first thing that we wanted to talk about tonight, first thing we wanted to talk about tonight was the Indigo B pool. It's a very interesting pool. I talked a lot about it last night on predicting Tranquility. I think that this is a very tight pool. But particularly what we're going to talk about with this pool is the two teams on top. Currently Pride and the Cosmic Castaways are sitting 2-0 in this pool. Both look very strong. Specifically Pride, who I was a little bit surprised by. But yeah, both teams look very good. So we wanted to discuss who we think is going to come out on top for the rest of this the pool for the rest of the week. So what are our thoughts on either one of these teams to the two people left in the call?
Well, you got CC, who have looked pretty dominant so far. They were in preseason. They gave Rem a challenge, and then coming into the first 2 weeks, they, I think Clem's back in the call. Who have we're now both
They can't
2-0.
hear you, Clem. So just give it a second.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, Clem fucked this whole thing up. Wait, cause now I gotta fuck. Give me a sec. I gotta fuck with my camera now. Wait. Oh.
Okay, well they're doing
We'll
that.
work on getting we'll work on getting Clem in here.
Yeah, so obviously CC are looking very good so far. They have Magpolar coaching them, and as we know, previous CC back in season 8 was very dominant on ball comp. So, and looking that ball comp is meta, they're gonna be very strong in the coming weeks. And also, yes, Train is right. Magic Otter is GM1.
Yeah.
So that is a very high praise for him. Congrats to him.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the narrative around this team is like Magic is I won't say they're carry because I'm a big fan of Effexus.
Oh yeah, that guy's really good.
Yeah, he's crazy. But Magic is like the big name on this team. He's the guy that you're looking out for. And it doesn't hurt that 3 of the 4 people in this call are like verifiable Magic Otter Sims. I don't know about you, Toxic, but the rest of us are.
Oh no, I love that guy. I played versus him in season 6. He dominated.
He's crazy. So now like putting him in a meta where it's like his best character. Oh hi Clem. Welcome.
Oh, I gotta get back to mine.
We're back.
Yeah,
we're slowly getting here. Sorry guys for the slowness.
Working on it. Production issues, unfortunate.
Oh no.
But
issues.
they can't hear you by the way, Sam.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, okay.
My mic's yeah.
But this team looks really strong, and I think it's a meta that definitely plays to their strengths. And I think this week they got a really strong win against Tempest. Who I know they've been struggling. But a 4-0 is still a 4-0, and they looked pretty solid throughout all of it.
I mean, just look at this Aphex guy. He literally just got a 4K with his ult. I know Sojourn might
Yeah.
be nerfed, and Sojourn might be nerfed and isn't as good as before. But this guy looks like he's owning on the Sojourn. So new name in Trank, but he looks really good so far.
I think losing Hypno for Tempest will really matter. After watching, because I actually did my homework and I did my main sports sheet, and after watching, shout out to Rancid Randy, but the main sport was not the best. So I think maybe when Hypno's back, they're gonna do a lot better. But being down on that definitely hurt.
What happened to your mic, Clem?
What happened to my mic?
You're on webcam mic.
You are,
Yeah,
you're
Am I
on
really on webcam mic?
Go to yeah, go to your settings.
I got it.
I mean,
I love prod issues.
even if I don't think we can call this, like, I think Navino was saying in chat, this isn't a very, like, it's not that it's not a quality win. It's that they look very dominant on the ball comp.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of strong parts. So I think
That's what I more meant. Yeah.
instead of like looking at who they're winning against, it's more that
they look really
the meta is lining in their favor, so they're looking very strong right now.
Yeah.
I think we also can't discredit Pride on the other side, because these two teams are going to be playing in next week. So whoever wins this match will probably win out the pool. And they did win over Phoenix, who we were praising highly last week, but Phoenix were also missing 2 people, so they had 2 ringers.
Yeah,
and we can't really. It's not that we can't discredit Pride; it's that we can't really credit the win. I think is a fair way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Phoenix obviously being down 2 players. And when you look back at some of those maps, some of them are a little bit close, you know. And I still think that CC would probably take that win either way, but I think that it wouldn't be as dominant if Phoenix would have had their full 5. But that being said, I'm also a big CC believer, so I do believe in them to win Indigo B.
That's just been the storyline this season, hasn't it? Like, oh, X team is down this player, and
No, I mean,
whether
like,
or not we're taking that into account as like
Yeah.
actual reasoning for them losing or winning or whatever. It's crazy. I feel like there's been like more absences this season than like ever before. Am I crazy? Like,
I mean, no,
or at least
I
in
think,
like big matches. Like,
I think you're right. I think
you're right. No, you're right. I feel like it's just there's a lot of cope this season.
Yeah, they're definitely
strong. I'm like a cope train derailment this season.
Because like last season you could just say like, oh, we're not as good at Overwatch 2, so it's like, you know, not our fault. That is true. Train said that they all affect my team. That's very true.
Last season was like they played double shield, so we lose. This season is
that is true. Like last week was midterms for a lot of people.
Yeah. Maybe there is a reason for it.
Always a correlation.
Always a correlation.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So if we had to give like actual, we are going to pred this match later, so we'll go more in depth later. But I think the consensus is CC will probably come out on top on Indigo B, as they're looking a lot more cleaner than Pride, who have had a dominant win over the other team we were praising, but it's not a credited win, is what we've come to.
I'm kind of wondering how good Error are. I think that's kind of like the sneaky team in this pool. Because they went to 5 against Spuds and they took a map off of Pride, which Tempest weren't able to do, or not Tempest, Phoenix weren't able to do. Granted, like no ringers, whatever.
Even though they had ringers.
But I really do wonder. I think being able to scale Error is going to be a big thing to determine like how the top 4 kind of plays out. Because I really do wonder what their matches like mean in the grander scheme of things, you know. And as well, like that goes for Spuds. Their one against Error. But yeah, I think it's kind of just been the Castaways and Pride show. And then like Phoenix, Spuds, Error have been in the middle. You don't really know what to do with them.
Teams.
Yeah. Fighting for like that 3rd place, and you don't really know which one of them is on top. So
yeah,
I agree.
I think Error. It'll all depend really, because they're down 0-2 right now. So we could see them realistically being the C pool team. I mean, another threat to look out for. I don't know if I highlighted, but I think another threat to highlight in this pool would be Poseidon, who are now
That's
1-1 because of their uh
Who did Poseidon play week 1?
they played CC. And they did take a map off CC
They
despite
did take a map off CC.
even though that was when Magic Otter wasn't playing the first map, but that's still like
See, I'm telling you, man, every time, every
it
time.
is a lot of cope. It's a lot of cope for everyone, but I mean, even
Swear.
if you, I think taking a map off a strong CC team, just even if they did not have their
Main tank.
GM1 tank,
Yeah.
it's still a big win for them. So I
Yeah,
could see
definitely.
Poseidon and maybe like Phoenix or Spuds taking that, but I do realistically think that Era will probably fall to Elam Pool if they can't take a win other than the bye win in week 3.
They have a bye this week. That's
Yeah, they have a bye and
yeah.
they play Phoenix week 4.
Who's
I
their?
think-
Do we know who their week 5 match is? Because that could be pretty big. Castaways.
Oh, so
So that's rough.
yeah, no. I mean, it all depends on if they can beat Phoenix. If they can beat Phoenix, they have somewhat hope to go beat Pool.
Yeah, real.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Clem, you are
Clem,
so
you're
quiet. I
quiet.
didn't realize that you've been talking this whole time.
But
Wait, Clem, say something.
Hello?
More normal.
louder.
Louder.
Yeah,
All right. How loud are we talking? Is this better?
That's fine.
that's better.
Okay.
That is
That's
much
better.
better.
We can actually notice.
Have you been
now.
talking this whole time?
I've said a couple of things.
I'll
that
turn.
I've
I'll
just
turn.
flat out ignored, and I was like, I knew it was audio issues.
No, you didn't.
Certainly, right?
The
So
hate towards
what did you just
Oh, was
say?
apathy was?
It's like I just have no clue where Spuds fall into this because I feel like
Yeah.
Spuds could be that C pool team. I mean, thinking that Eric can kind of step up and maybe take a game against Phoenix. But who did Spuds play week 1? They did not play anybody.
They had a bye.
They had a bye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's hard to accurately judge Spuds because Spuds could be good, and they could beat Tempest. They could beat Pride. I don't think they could beat CC, but I think they could. Like, I don't know how they are. Although they did go 5 maps with Air. So if I had to guess, they're like not at the top, but my guess is they'd be like that 4 spot.
Yeah. Definitely something to look out for. To see where those teams are at. I think that this top matchup is very important. But I think that everything beyond that is also still taking form. So definitely something that you're gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, I think when you look at the other pools, maybe other than Orame, who has Rem and MI7, the other ones are kind of already decided at who their top will be. Maybe other than Paradise versus Trig. You have like
No.
I think
No. Paradise
Wait, who do
clear.
I mean, yeah.
Paradise is gonna 4 on this.
Oh,
one.
you
Paradise
guys-
is
We'll
gonna
talk.
4
We're
on
gonna
this.
talk
later,
about
later,
Paradise.
later,
later.
That's
Fine.
later. That's a later segment for us. But I think looking at it, like all the other pools, maybe other than MI7 versus Rem, have a decided top like team. So it's
Yeah.
like you have to look at this match as like this is the one that's gonna decide at who's gonna like take that one spot and just like have that 5-0 record in stage 1. So this is like the most important match of week 3 in my eyes.
Pride CC?
Yeah, Pride CC is like the most important match in my eyes.
It's gonna be a good one.
I agree.
I have Trig Paradise Lost, but because we're talking about that later. That's my match of the week.
It is crazy though that like when you look at it, like probably gonna be a 5-0 team in every pool.
And every single pool, there will be.
Yeah.
Not
There will
necessarily.
be.
Not necessarily, but like if Trig loses,
But there's no way that there's okay. That we gotta wait for the Trig conversation later.
but if
Because I have
Paradise
a lot
lost-
of points
yeah.
about that game, but
I mean,
You're-
I think
dude, you're Robo Mike. I'm sorry, it's just
Is
funny.
it?
this
no
quality is so
way.
bad. We're gonna get
You're
cut
fine.
from
You're
Trig.
fine.
okay,
you're
hold on.
fine.
Oh,
Leave your audio the
guys.
way it is. This is perfect. You're
Guys, they're
perfect the
gonna-
way you are,
They're gonna
Clem.
cut our show.
They're gonna cut our show.
We're gonna
Gosh,
need
yeah.
sponsors or something to keep us on air.
Sponsors.
Real.
Sponsoring. I'm joking.
Wow, that was a
okay.
quick map. I just realized that like that Antarctica map that we've watched like 3 times now.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
It is a
we-
6-minute map.
6
Yeah,
minute
I
map.
maybe should have
That's
picked a longer
wild.
map.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Well, no,
I
like
think
that's just. I think that speaks a lot to the kind of how
strength.
good Castaways are and kind of the struggles of Tempest. You know, because like that's a sick roster on paper.
Oh
They were
yeah,
definitely
Circuit
one
was
that I
freaking.
had high, but they
Agreed.
a 6 minute map really. That's
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 wow.
pretty fast.
that's more
Yeah.
than pretty fast. That is absurdly fast. That is crazy.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Here,
Um.
so I think we go to the
Yeah,
Next topic?
we can move
Yeah.
on to the next
Here,
topic. So
s-
you know, here on Silver Slander, we did our homework. And we did our homework by copying the Bronze Banter homework. So we're going to talk about whether the marsupial team drops a map in this pool.
so
Yeah, kind of what we want to talk about here is Beat Draw Bears have looked really good, and they just 4-0'd arguably the best team in their pool, not named themselves. They
They
4-0'd
are
the
the best.
Wildcat Boys. They look really strong. So do we think that Wildcat Boys will drop a map, or not Wildcat Boys? The Beat Draw Bears will drop a map, and if so, when?
I mean, honestly,
You're saying
looking
drop
at
a
this,
map.
looking at this pool, this is nothing against Indigo A. I think this is the weakest pool.
Yeah,
I think this is the weakest pool other than ORMB maybe. ORMB might make a contention for it, but I think this is the weakest pool in terms of scheduling for Beat Drop Bears. Because looking at their competition, most of these teams we ranked in like the bottom 16, other than Avalon and Wildcat Boys.
I think
Actually, no, wait,
Avalon. I think we incredibly underrated Avalon.
Agreed.
I think so too.
If there's any team to take a map off, it would be Avalon. And if
But they
Avalon
don't
doesn't do
play.
it,
it's
They don't
but
play?
they don't
Nope.
play Avalon. That's the
okay, then
problem.
Beat Drop goes perfect stage, 100%.
I think this is the golden stage for Beat Drop Bears.
Oh yeah.
hmm
Um,
The rest of their schedule is I'm sorry for cutting off some, but just to like quickly go through it. The rest of Beat Drop Bears' schedule is Blobfish this week,
4-0.
Adrenalines, and then UV Rays.
Yeah, I just don't see them not
which I would
4-0ing
argue
all three
that
of those games.
yeah,
yeah. I don't see them dropping.
Yeah, I mean, comparing it to like other team schedules, if they played Avalon, I could see Avalon maybe like contending to take a map, but I don't even see them like dropping a map to any of those teams we just mentioned. Like, because most of those teams have like had close matches versus each other, and Wildcat Boys we said were like the only contender versus them, but they just 4-0'd them like it was nothing.
Mhm.
Obviously, this map was very close.
Circuit was
Well,
close. Circuit
yes,
was
this
close.
map-
I would
Whoa.
Noel swapped Tracer and kind of went off.
Yeah, I was about to say it
just
wasn't
wanna
nothing.
say- I just want to say
Okay, go ahead.
that
Go ahead.
it went to the third point on Antarctica. It went, it was 3-2 Kings Row, and it was 4-3 here, and then obviously Push was 1-0. But
I should have said
let me put this out there. If you go to last cast and you go look at predictions for this game, I said it would be a very close 4-0. I called it to the T.
Oh wait, you did.
Yeah.
I called this a close 4-0.
I think everybody who thinks that a close 4-0 is not possible is coping their mind
Yeah,
out.
agreed.
Like a close 4-0 is definitely possible, and I'm starting to sell the church of the not close 3-2. That
not
one's a little
close
bit.
I think
3-2.
The not close 3-2. That one's a little
That's-
bit harder to sell.
no,
but-
not
I think
close.
3-2s are a lie.
A not close
honestly.
3-2 is when
They're
you
a
pull
lie. They're manufactured.
when you pull.
I think
Clungy out
teams
too
get
early.
comfortable when they go up 2-0. They lose that
Yeah, they
mentality.
do.
And then
Yeah.
they drop 2 maps and they realize, oh shit, guys, we need to try.
Or it's the Trank scriptwriters just like paying people off. Like
Honestly,
I kid.
Frank's,
The script writers.
them script writers, man.
Well, they had Clem Genji last season. The script writer, they needed it.
Dude, I was about to hit Mr. Yeti when he sent me that. When he's like, "Yo, you're putting Clem on Genji for the last map." I'm like, dude.
Nah, that was crazy because everyone focused on the Clem Genji until they realized that I had to play Zen and I died.
You had to play Zen. That was
That's
why
alright.
they
We were
also
talking about
wrote
last season.
15,
That was a lot of
15
fun.
deaths per 10.
It's also why they wrote Nerf DPS winning a map for semi-7.
Oh yeah,
Real.
dethroning the
Oh, what do you
fraud
know
lord
about it?
himself. Yeah.
What do you know about it? Alright.
The given storylines are crazy. Anyways, though, Beat Drop Bears.
I think this is an easy 20-0 for them.
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
would be stunned
changed.
if they drop him out.
I think we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's a little bit cope, but I think that Catboys with a full roster maybe take them out. Maybe.
Who are they
Uh,
missing
they-
this week? Oh, they have
missed-
Nighthawk in.
Yeah, they missed Javelin and had Nighthawk, which I'm assuming is their
Gotcha.
support.
Main sport, right? I believe.
But now I'm not saying obviously that they would have taken a map with their player, but
Hey, even Navino's admitting it, so you're
Exactly.
right. You're right.
Def
Ty.
takes circuit.
Yeah, if Navino's willing to admit that this team would drop him out, then like
Wait.
you're right. You know that it's not
Nighthawk
Copium.
17.
hey,
I thought he
Wait,
was.
change his
Nighthawk
name?
played well. Nighthawk did play well though. I'll say this.
Yeah.
Oh
He
wait.
did play well.
Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna try to sell you guys on something. All right. Now,
Uh-oh.
Adrenalines have gone to 5 twice in a row. We're gonna talk about them a little bit later, I think. Yeah. But for now, I just want to like put this out there into the world. Do we think Adrenalines are Map 5 warriors? They play to their competition more than anybody else. Do we think that they could be the ones to dethrone the
Ooh.
No.
Beat Drop Bears, take some map?
no.
You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna sell this storyline.
No.
Beat Drop Bears, they get comfortable, they go up, and then
All right,
Beat
I
Drop's
wanna-
DPS are too good.
Let me paint this picture in your head. Wildcat Boys, the team that beat Drop Bears just 4-0'd. So they 4-0'd Blobfish, Wildcat
Yeah.
Boys the week before. Do you know who Adrenaline's 3-2 this week?
Blobfish, yeah.
Yes. So if they went 3-2 against a team that got
Hey,
4-0 by
no.
Wildcat Boys, who
Hey.
got 4-0 by
I'm
Beat
just
Drop
saying.
Bears.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, it would be a
And
cool
I'm just saying
storyline.
you're wrong. Yeah, I'm just saying you're wrong.
Hey, Noel, can you toss a map really quick?
Yeah,
Toss a
no.
map.
Just 2. I need 2 maps against
And
Adrenalines.
we need
Oh,
no
yeah,
one
can you toss
sleepy. We
both
need
your
no one
maps?
sleepy to just absolutely toss a couple of maps. It'll work.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I
Well, they
got
hold
you,
that.
thank
They
you.
hold that team by like an iron like chain. Like they can do whatever they want. If they like, if Null and Sleepy want to just like lose the game, they could. They just could.
Hey, don't discredit
Isn't
my boy
Brian on that
Brian.
team as well?
Yeah, don't discredit my boy Brian.
Brian's pretty sick. Yeah.
I'm saying if they wanted to, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say that guy's.
I guess any player kind of has that
Yeah,
power. you know, you
Sleepy's
throw them out.
just a Mayo TP, and they can play rush, so it works.
Mhm.
Well,
Good looking team.
consensus
Literally,
is
such a-
nobody takes a map off Beat Drop
No.
Bears.
No. What about
Mm.
So if that like that one's I think kind of an easy question to answer. What about though What about Wildcat Boys? You talked a little bit about them, but how do we think they do? Because I think them versus Avalon, that's a match that we're gonna see. Is it this
Ooh,
week?
4? Is it 4?
I think this.
I think it's 4.
It's 5.
5.
5.
That's
That's
gonna
a
be
key
good.
matchup.
Yeah,
And
There's
that's
some
the
banger
that's who
matches
gets
week 5.
second
A
place.
pool.
Yeah.
I think it's a who's playing for second in that between Cat Boys and Avalon. Avalon got very lucky that they dodged beat drop, and I guess it won't matter because
It won't matter.
my
if
guess
they
is that
lose,
both
yeah.
Cat Boys and Avalon will be undefeated going into those games. No,
Mhm.
Cat Boys already lost. Cat Boys will
You're
win out
horrible.
going into that game, and then I think Avalon will be undefeated going into that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean,
It'll
again,
be
whoever
3-1
wins.
versus 4-0.
Will it matter with map pool? If
You mean
it's a
map
head-to-head
differential?
win?
I think the only way.
Yeah, map differential will
it,
matter.
It
Yeah.
will
Okay.
matter. How many teams can make?
So
pool
that will
A?
hurt Cat Boys significantly.
So,
does it
the way
work?
that Trank works this season is the top team in each pool, or the top team in each pool, goes to A pool. Then the second place in each pool goes to B. Then third place goes to C, and so on and so forth.
Wait.
So there's going to be
wait,
like 8 pools this season.
Wait.
Really?
That's not true. There's going to
5?
be 5 plus Elim.
Oh
say?
wait.
There's
Was
four.
it 4 plus
okay.
Elim? It'd be 4 plus Elim.
So
right?
No, it'd be
basically,
5
B
plus
drop
Elim.
goes to pool
Really?
A, and then
Yeah.
whoever wins this goes to pool B.
Wait,
I
maybe
think-
6 plus Elim.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
who's
6
playing
plus
for
Elim.
Pool B. This is
Oh, okay.
Six
this
plus
is
Elim,
what
six
we're
plus
gonna call
Elim.
that game.
Who's winning for? I
The
think
battle
Who's
Honestly,
playing
the-
who's playing for B?
so because map diff will matter because
Mhm.
the only way I think Wildcat Boys could like beat if Avalon go like 3-1 or 4-0 the other two games, they're gonna be down 4 maps compared to Avalon, who
Mhm.
Haven't dropped as many.
they've only dropped like 1 map to each team, and so
Yeah.
they're like +4 right now, I think.
Mhm.
But I think Wildcat Boys would need to like 4-0 or like 3-1 in order to.
Well, not the
Bring
no
their-
one.
I think if there's gonna be a game
Well,
where
how's-
obviously outside of the Cat Boys one that Avalon gets challenged, it'd be this week against Adrenalines.
Yeah.
Or Adrenaline.
Or Maelstrom.
No.
Or Maelstrom.
Uh,
Maelstrom.
Yeah.
No, they don't play Maelstrom. They don't play
they don't?
Maelstrom.
Okay.
No,
Never mind.
they play who is it? Adrenaline, and then they play Whirlwind.
Wildland.
Yep, Wildwind. And then they play Catboys.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
So it could be. Honestly, I don't see like the other teams like really touching these other two teams, like these top 3 teams. So it's really up to Avalon, or it's up to Wild Catboys to beat Avalon if they want B pool.
Mhm.
Speaking of
Or-
Avalon, do we want to kind of transition into that topic?
Oh
With
yes.
our- So, um, I swear to God,
Avalon.
reading what you guys wrote for the topic title. So we want
Uh,
to talk about whether or not Avalon are a real or fake contender, whether or not they are
I have a
whether
code
they're
for that.
good or whether they've just been getting by, squeaking out some free wins. Um, they they didn't have Zasper week 1. That storyline is never going to end.
It literally won't ever end. I don't.
Here, use this script time. I just
big
put that.
recall.
So they didn't have Zasper week 1. And it was kind of a close match against, was it UV Rays week 1?
Yeah.
And then
Oh wait, I put
this week they played let me check. This week they played Maelstrom, and it was a 3-1. It was a
and
pretty
they did
close
have
match.
Zasper. Yeah, honestly, it was a really
Scoreline
close.
wise at least. So what do we think about Avalon? We've talked a little bit in depth about them so far, but like more specifically about Avalon, what do we think is like what makes this team tick? What is their win cons and stuff?
So,
Do you want to go Toxic? All right.
you go.
I absolutely love Lost Sauce, who's on Avalon, who's their main
Mhm.
support. I have him top 4 right now. He's a unit. His mechanics are very good. His wall riding's good. He's typically not out of position. He has good aura management. He's gonna be a really good Lucio. I think he's gonna consistently be a top 5 main support in the tier. Now it's main support, so it doesn't matter. But like, he is somebody who I think will surprise people in the support role just in general. So I really like Lost Sauce.
Okay, I'll go. I think this team. So the week 1, we kind of summed them up, not looking the best, looking kind of close versus a team who they should have, like absolutely dominated if they want to like compete at the
Toxic.
top.
Toxic,
Yeah.
what you're forgetting is
It-
they were down Zasper.
And then and then they have Zasper this week, and they
And-
still okay. To be fair, Maelstrom I think is a better team than I think
Yes.
the UV Rays, but I still think with Zasper, if you want to contend at the top with the teams like Paradise Lost, Beat Drop Bears, MI7, you have to like perform really well against like
Mhm.
the middle teams in the tier.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then I think you're not a real contender for the top. And so I don't think they're gonna be a contender for that first place. Up tier hater. Oh, did I not say Rem? I thought I said Rem. Okay, yeah. Let me.
I wouldn't include Rem in the top
I'm
3.
mentioning.
What they beat Tampa Bay Tryhards, and then they have a bye. Like what? No.
Yeah, and then they just
Hey.
Oh, they have
didn't
a bye
go
this
to
week.
7
My
maps
fault.
in preseason.
fault.
Hey,
But
don't sleep on the Tampa Bay tryhards, though. Say,
No, I love train.
I'm
Don't
there.
sleep.
I'm there, Simon.
Sleep.
Hey, don't hate on the Tampa Bay
Hey.
tryhards.
Yeah, they're Tampa Bay sandbagging, so
I
they
love
can Tampa
Tom
Bay
Brady.
tryhard. You know what I'm saying?
They should sign Tom Brady to that team.
It could, yeah. It's been in talks, Somebody make some connections, a guy knows a guy. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be easy.
Yeah.
Vino probably knows Tom Brady.
Who's the one like is it Luca? Luca plays Overwatch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Luka Doncic. Oh, I have his jersey on right now.
Speaking of Luka
Oh
Doncic,
yo.
Yeah.
Yo, look at it.
We gotta
Luka
get-
jersey.
Day.
We gotta get Luca in a train.
Yeah,
Yes,
so if you guys
Jersey
didn't
Day.
know,
Jersey Day.
it's Jersey Day
Oh
here at
yeah.
Silver Slander.
Zion. I got Zion on.
We got
You
Zion.
got Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson
Jackson.
Raiders.
Like Gary
And
Payton.
then Gary
Ugh.
Payne and the Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Jersey Day.
Bro, Lonnie, if you call me, you know what? One more time, I swear to God. So back to the actual cast.
Mhm.
Avalon. So what's the overall consensus here? Contender or not a contender for the top?
Me personally, I think Avalon looked really strong in the second game. I like Colossus and I like Dolphinicus a lot. I'm pretty sure they're a Sim 1 trig, but like,
Yeah, this team likes to one trick Sim
Yeah.
Reinhardt.
Hey.
I've watched their codes.
It's gonna work.
It's
Like that can work in Discord tier very easily.
Not only
doing
is
good.
it gonna work, it's working.
It is working, yeah.
So
Look at that
Look at
TP.
that
Look at that
TP.
TP. Oh my
Coordination.
god.
Oh my god.
Come
That's-
on. What do you know about it?
He got the lamp.
He got lamped.
He got the lamp.
Doesn't matter.
It's such a funny play. He just gets lamp.
That would have worked.
But I think, obviously, I don't think they're gonna beat drop Bears, right?
But they're not playing Beat Drop Bear, so they
But
could easily
I-
get.
They won't
I
beat
think
drop
this will
Bears,
be-
but they won't take the number 1 spot. Is what
Yeah.
I think Avalon
Yeah.
will be the
B pool team.
I'd say Catboys. But
Oh,
they will
no.
be like
Oh.
one of the very top middle of the pack teams.
They'll be the gatekeeper.
They're
See,
gonna be
here's-
they're gonna be the Atlanta Reign of season
Yeah.
3.
They're gonna be
That's
the
what they were
They
last
beat
season, honestly.
everybody bad, but they can't beat anybody good. All right, that's gonna be what Avalon is. This
That was
season.
kind of what they were last season. Like they kind of like they went
Yeah.
5-0 and like
Yeah,
a
true.
pretty easy pool. Oh wait, they played Doodles though, so not really. But everybody else in that pool was like Doodles was. in
Yeah,
this
they
sector,
went
yeah.
5-0. And then
they played Doodles, yeah. And then like it came to stage 2 when they kind of
they lost.
they
like,
went 1 and 2,
Ren.
right? Well, they have a tough pool. They played 2 of the top 3.
They played.
Don't
Rem.
fight me on that.
2 of the top teams.
2 of the top.
I forget who they played. I can't remember.
Don't
last
fight me
season.
on that. Givens were top 3. But
I didn't want to say that, but you were up there.
where was I? They kind of, I think they're like same roster, you know. I like, I mean, y'all have been coping about like literal cope, like, oh, X player is down from this roster, grr, and that's been like the storyline. I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm talking about synergy. I think synergy is the number one thing. I think that's something that makes that separates the there's a phrase I'm looking for, but I don't know. And so it separates the good teams from the bad. And I think that what's it? Wait, no, I'm talking about Avalon as a mid team in season or stage 2. Anyways, Avalon have a lot of synergy. They're running in with like a very similar roster, if not like pretty much the same roster from last season.
Mhm.
So I think that being able to like, I think I even like last night on predicting, I said that synergy was big about them, and I think
Yeah.
that literally it might have been a different team, but I'm pretty sure that they were the ones that said like we've been playing together for 3 years, like they know each other
That's
like inside and out.
Lost.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, here's my what I would label them as. They will be the worst version of Paradise Lost. A team, because Paradise Lost has a ton
Oh.
of coordination. All right, they've been playing together for a super long time. All right, I think that they are Paradise Lost is better mechanically than Avalon. All right, and I think they will be like the quote unquote baby Paradise Lost. It will be like the worst version. Of
Yeah.
it. But that's good. That's honestly a not bad thing to do
think that's
because
a
like
good-
Paradise Lost is consensus top 3 for us. So
Possibly top 2.
yes, possibly top 2.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Actually, we could transition
Whoa.
into it.
Let's
right
do it now. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right, let's try.
Awesome transition
Paradise
point.
Lost.
Paradise Lost. Not Meta Slaves. They run their comp. They do it their way, and they have not dropped a single objective point in 2 weeks of gameplay.
That's crazy.
That is.
That's insane. I don't
even
care
if
who you play. I don't care if you're the top trans team and you play like the Fighting Potatoes in Team 32. Like that's insane.
Don't sleep on 32.
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah.
But they look really good. They're yet to drop a point, and honestly, before this week, I would have had beat drop third. I think that they're playing so good. This like they're actually insane. This roster is actually insane. The fact that they haven't dropped a point, I think says
Don't
so
watch
much about their
Master
skill
Ryan.
levels.
Watch Paradise Lost.
I think
I
that
was trying to
Bob's
figure out.
right now
There
is
you
the
go.
best main support in the tier. Now, off the very limited sample size I have, which is like basically a point for each main support, Bob's looked the best. He looked the best positionally. He looked the best CD usage. Like this guy, he's a unit. Like this guy's a
But
unit. So
Just
I
look at
think
the
he's
comp
gonna
they're
be really good.
playing. Like
No, I
this
know.
guy, like these guys literally don't care who they're up against. They will play whatever they want.
Yeah,
They do not.
they're like
confine to meta.
doodles. Oh my gosh. I
They,
gotta
they
stop.
are like
Don't
they
up
are
the
the
curse.
good
don't
version.
speak that name in vain. Alright.
I'm gonna I'm gonna stop bringing them up. I just lost a match to them, so I'm kind of it's on the brain.
It's okay, son. It's okay, son. They can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Just
You're
wait until they go to trans tier.
They can't hurt.
This game's crazy. You know
They
who I
are
like?
the original. Actually, that's wrong.
Who I like is CBF. I don't know a whole ton about him. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch enough codes for this week to be able to like accurately talk a whole bunch about like a lot of the stuff, but I know CBF from like 2 years ago, first team I ever trialed for. He was there and he was good. So good job CBF. Very cool. But I think that he's definitely impressing with his main team play. And I think the rest of the roster is also like just playing around him very well. Somebody wanted somebody to say Hawk is Jesus, so there it is. Hawk is in fact
Yeah,
Jesus.
that guy is actually very good.
He's
Like,
sick.
I remember I don't know if he played on the original one that went to finals versus Redmond season 7. He might have, but I remember him playing in NACC, the first one, I believe. He played in the first NACC, and he was really good. He's a really good DPS to have on your team. So I think this team just like will put him on whatever he's feeling, and they're just gonna run it.
Oh, look at CBF go!
Like, look at this guy.
man.
This guy's a Chad.
Look at this man. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so like we can make the same argument as Beat Drop as we can with Paradise Lost. Do we see Paradise Lost losing a map? They're gonna lose an objective against Trig. Trig's
I think
not lose an objective against.
No.
Could you imagine? Okay. I'm putting them 1. I don't care. Who gives a frick about MI7 or Reminiscence? I'm putting them 1 if they don't drop a point.
Do I think
the Trig? Yes, that's undisputed.
I think if Paradise Lost, okay, I don't think they're realistically not gonna drop a point. I think they will, okay, but there's somewhere inside of me that's like just wants them to not drop a point, and then I can drop a ram.
That's a different.
I can
drop. Like, hate is real.
That's a banger.
And I'll get all the shit from Capital.
That's a different level of Golden Stage. Like not dropping a single objective point.
No, that is like we need like a new name, like the Platinum.
Platinum.
That's not even platinum. That's like diamond. Some like weird.
Grandmaster stage.
That's a GM stage. Yeah. Why not?
Overwatch ranks, man. Like I don't know, what's another cool medal?
Not in this economy though.
A cool medal.
Like,
we could do
lead
cool
stage.
Medal. The lead stage.
Magnesium stage.
Because the rest of the teams were playing like they had lead in their water.
Jesus.
Oh my
lord. Hey, so I got the Brita right here. That's why I got the Brita right here.
I mean, I think this is like, I don't know if this is a tactic Paradise Lost to use. I don't know if this is like on purpose or maybe they just don't care. But I've seen they always choose attack no matter what, and then that's why their matches don't end in like 5 minutes because these guys
domination.
will go 3-0 Circuit Royale, 3-0 Kings Row. Like these guys like.
Honestly, wait, that's the strat. I'm gonna start doing that with Luminous. Like, you go up, like you make them, like it's like torture, right? Like you force them to play out like a match that you know that you're winning.
Though? If they haven't dropped,
they're choosing attack.
Oh, I guess
no, they are actively
they don't get to pick the map. Yeah, they haven't lost a point.
They haven't lost the map.
Yeah,
you force the enemy team to suffer. You know, it's like this is the strats they were using for like torturing like war victims, or war criminals.
Okay. To be fair, we also, because I saw somebody bring it up in chat, we do got to bring up the teams they've played. Culture and Redacted.
True.
Those two teams are not good.
But
I think
not dropping a point is still crazy.
I agree. 100%.
It's like no matter what team you're playing, the team okay, maybe these teams, maybe Redacted and Culture really are just like the worst 2 teams, or maybe they just weren't feeling it and they just couldn't get a point. Like I think even if like a team should be like, these are Discord tier teams, they're gonna make mistakes, and if your team can't like capitalize on it or they just didn't capitalize on the mistakes, and maybe they got lucky back-to-back weeks, but still not dropping a point is still crazy because that's like you either have really good stall.
Overwatch.
Not even. They just
beat them. No, because I watched. Because luckily the VODs take absolutely nothing to watch because they're incredibly fast. They're not stalling. They're not doing. They're just genuinely beating the shit out of other teams.
Like the 13
Like
Heat.
they're crazy.
I do agree with Null and Chad. Trig is going to be like the measurement of how good this team really is. Maybe they just got like really like
Just wait until that week 4 match.
Yeah.
week 3.
Week 3.
The jellyfish week 4.
Oh,
Hey.
week 4. Versus,
Yeah,
that's what you're
I
referring
knew
to.
I could see right through it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Jellyfish
That's the
week
team
4.
I don't see them dropping a point against. I'm sorry, Nerf. That team has been having a roster.
Man. Yeah, we have. Let's see. I mean, it's fair. I get to cope about it because we actually have been having roster issues.
Maybe we should
all
talk
right.
about like
We talked about lost. Yeah,
or maybe like, do we think Trig could take not even a point, a map? Like,
Yes.
we're talking way too much about the points. Like, I definitely think they could take a.
Well, we'll talk because
Well-
don't we have that game like later on? That
Yeah.
We have to
Oh wait,
talk about?
actually, are we predicting it? I forget.
Yes,
I
Yeah,
forget
we
what
are.
what matches I even wrote down.
That's a good one.
Hey, he wrote it down, everybody, and he
It's
forgets
a
it.
banger match. Just like assume.
There's a lot of banger matches. This
There's
week.
this-
There are
week
a lot
three's
of
pretty
banger
strong.
matches. Wait, what is
this
this
is-
one? Ew, you guys have a bad last map. All right, whatever.
I'm gonna make a Harmony tier reference. This is like the KK versus Geo match that was just featured. This is like the measurement of how good teams really are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
I was
CC versus
dead wrong.
Pride.
Except Geo won and
Yeah.
Trig will not.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What do you mean?
No.
Okay, you marsupial lovers.
What do you
I'm
mean?
kidding.
All right.
The Trig
What's the next
roster is
one?
like mostly Geo from last season. So I'm
No,
just saying.
I like the Trig roster, okay. But like,
We're just gonna go over Trig. We're going over Trig.
Nope, this is the
all
Trig
right.
segment now. Welcome.
This is it.
Paradise Lost, they're so good. They're just so good.
This is what happens when you bring me in. I have to talk about the Geo org. Like it's.
You just
like,
talk about
come on.
your
this
teams,
is-
Nerf. This is all you do.
I'm not
You
their
talk about your
manager.
teams.
Drowsy deep testing? Okay, never mind. I take it back. I'll cope a bit about the KK loss with Navino.
Wait, what's the KK code?
They're
What is
missing
it?
a send
We're
and,
watching the
Kaden.
KK match.
Nah,
Bro, no
hold
way.
up right now.
Can we watch flashbacks? Let's just watch. all
No,
the,
this is
almost
not going to turn
upsets or
into
upsets.
bronze banter. This is
Bronze
not
God
banter.
damn it, Nerf!
Bronze
This is why we
banter.
can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
No.
alright?
The reason we can't have
Look
nice
what you've
things.
done.
No, the reason we can't have nice things is because Choi is on vacation and Doggy couldn't
That's
make
why.
it.
Yeah. Come on.
I miss Troy.
So
He's having
blame
fun in Mexico.
Choi sipping on his margarita in Mexico.
No, I'm here.
All right, let's go to the
so
final segment.
Let's get to the final segment. Another one that we kind of touched on already, but Adrenalines, the Map 5 Warlords.
Really did
They've
copy bronze banter's homework.
this is the Jersey Boys segment. No, they went to 5 against Blobfish this week. After going to Map 5 against Maelstrom last week. Maelstrom, well, I'll say struggled this week. They played Avalon, so it's kind of to be expected, I think. But they definitely still struggled against Avalon a little bit. Whereas then the Blobfish, they were not a team that we had very high, or I guess
Yeah,
y'all
they were,
had very high.
Bottom 3 teams.
They might have
They
been.
took
They
two-
might have been.
So we're talking about Paradise Lost. Wildcat Boys only dropped 2 objective points throughout their whole match against Blobfish. So you kind of wonder, Blobfish are struggling. Maelstrom also a little bit struggling this week. How do we rate Adrenalines? Because they're all over the place playing to their
They're a
competition.
team that wants to play Overwatch. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, in 2 weeks playing 10 maps, they
That's
just
a
enjoy the game right now.
fuck
That's what
ton
I'm
of
gonna say.
Overwatch.
That's
They
a
get to-
lot of Overwatch.
And that's
Like,
coming
Wait,
from
Troy's in the chat.
that's
Hi,
coming from the
Troy.
dude with like
Troy,
300
I took
games
your
this
job.
season. That's a lot of Overwatch.
That's a lot of Overwatch.
I'm gonna drop a high Troy.
Yeah.
I think you could note this could show that Adrenalines are a potential contender for that. I guess it's not C pool or D pool spots because it's not just what do you call it? B pool.
Yeah.
It's split into C pool and D pool. It kind of shows because if Adrenalines were this close to beating Maelstrom, who were doing pretty decent, not horrible, I'd say pretty decent against Avalon. This kind of shows maybe they're able to beat out these bottom tier pool teams in their pool and able to take that, I guess, Oh, well, not C pool. A D pool. I mean, yeah, D pool spot.
Pool.
The top of the mid.
That's
What
what
we
yeah.
call
That's,
it.
Yeah.
Top of the mid. Banger. Banger.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Adrenalines can be like strong and like maybe they haven't showed it very much in their matches, but I still think they have a chance to maybe like sneak into like a C pool or something like that, or however the pools are working this season. I obviously don't know, and here I am. So, but like I said, I think that it's just kind of just like these last 2 games have just been really rough for them. Who do they play again next week?
They play Avalon.
Avalon. I don't see them
That's
going.
what I was
They
gonna
won't.
get
They
to.
won't go to 5 with Avalon. They won't.
I mean, it really depends. If I think
maybe
they aren't watching this cast and maybe they don't know the secrets of Avalon being the sim junk warlords. But if they
But-
maybe prepare for that, I could see them like doing pretty decent.
like
I mean,
Farah.
no, I mean, I think what do you call it? I did see in the match of Maelstrom versus Avalon, Maelstrom tried to pull out the Farah and Zasper just ended up swapping to cast. So it shows they are willing to swap. But I think if they try and figure out a way around or preparing for this
Avalon comp.
sim junk,
Have this game on the
sim junk comp, then maybe they could take it to 5 and probably not win. I don't think they could win. But
we
maybe
don't
they
have
make
this
close.
game. We don't have this game on our 5 to
Yay.
talk about, so I'm just gonna come
Oh,
out
yay!
and say
Finally,
it.
a match I didn't choose.
Avalon dominant 4-0. That is my prediction for this game. Is an Avalon dominant 4-0. We're gonna realize that. This team's a fraud. I'm gonna say right now, Adrenaline's a fraudulent
I never
team.
got the Adrenaline's hype. They were not a roster
the
that I was
Adrenaline's
like
hype- okay.
overly impressed with.
The
I
Adrenaline's
think
hype.
Mint's good. I do think Mint is good. I'll say that.
The Adrenaline's hype is that we all thought Maelstrom was going to be really, and so therefore them only winning 3-2 to Adren made them like a mid tier.
Yeah, I think
team.
I don't know who told us to put them so high in the top.
I don't
Choi?
know.
I think it was Choi. Choi.
We're gonna blame Choi. We're gonna blame Choi.
We're gonna
We're just
blame
gonna
Choi
do it.
Yeah,
because
he's not here,
Choi.
so
He's
he
not here to
can.
defend
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
Choi, what the fuck?
Choi
blame
and Nagi. Choi and Nagi. It's their fault.
Yep, their fault.
yeah.
I would have done you right. I would have put them lower.
Good. Thank you.
All right. So
Who's
the
next?
overall consensus is I think Adrenalines could possibly take the deep pool spot, but it's going to be very hard considering they have to play Avalon, and there's still Maelstrom in the pool who could possibly win their next 2 matches versus I think our next 3 matches versus Wildwin is one. I think they play. Do they play UV Rays?
I think they play in week 4.
They
Maybe.
probably do.
I could see them going to 5 against those teams.
No, Maelstrom plays Catboys.
Oh wait,
Oh,
they're not
Cat
getting it.
Boys.
No, ooh, no.
This could be very.
I think we're right by saying Adrenaline gets deep pool or whatever that
I think
is.
D pools.
I'd be
No, I think-
stunned if they get C. I'd be stunned if they get C.
No, there's
I think Is there
Sorry,
such a thing as E-pool?
E-pool. Yeah, there's E-pool.
Because Maelstrom would, in theory, have locked it over them. No.
Oh well, yeah. I guess. What do you call it? Maelstrom could take D-pool, and then E-pool would be Adrenalines.
Yeah, Adren.
Is Adrenaline's 2-0?
No. Oh, 1-1.
1-1 with a, I think.
They're
0-0
5-5 on
record.
maps. They're 5-5 on
Yeah,
maps. In 2 weeks.
Oh, I thought Adrenaline won week 1. No,
No,
Maelstrom
they
won
lost.
week 1.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
blanking.
Maelstrom.
Oh,
Yeah,
forget it.
Maelstrom barely
has-
won.
Barely won.
Maelstrom
Literally went
has
to map 5
Maelstrom
third
has
point.
deep.
Not
100%.
5 Warlord.
We're looking good
100%.
here. This is looking good against who did they play this week? All over
What's
the
it
place.
called?
Blobfish.
Adrenaline's?
Blobfish,
Blobfish.
yes.
Blobfish.
They played Blobfish. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like we already brought this up. Blobfish is like, I think we almost had Blobfish
Great name.
dead last, except for
I think we did.
we moved them up because of their name and logo.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
So we were rating off name
Yes.
and logo. That's the only reason why they're not last place. In this
Yeah.
team of
I
three,
Just
it's
thank
two of them.
LCS
They
for
went
making
3-2.
that logo so known well.
Yeah.
Literally spanning it in every channel possible.
A banger logo. That's why. It's a heater logo.
It's a great speech bubble
Hey.
gift. All right.
Pred's time?
I guess Pred's time.
Fred's time! Woo! Oh no, let's do power rankings again.
Yeah, let's do the
Gotta correct
whole
all your
yeah,
guys'
no.
mistakes.
Do all the power rankings all over again.
All the power rankings,
Every
all
single
3
one.
tiers as well. So first match we're gonna talk about is the one that we started it all with: CC versus Pride. Great match, both 2-0 teams.
Yeah. This is
Uh,
banger match, I think.
Do
Let's
you
just see
guys
who
have-
this is who wins Indigo B.
do you guys have the thing where the logos pop up on screen? Or
Don, did you learn that?
Nope.
All right.
No,
I
no,
told you I was gonna
no.
touch you, man. So let's just go in order. We'll start with Syme since he's below me, and we'll work our way counterclockwise.
Alright, wait, let me pull up my notepad. I have so much shit pulled up.
Alright,
Okay.
we'll start with
Wait, no, I got it. Okay. Alright. So, obviously, I think you already said this, but they're both 2-0 in their pool. But I'm personally, I mean personally, I love Nyx and I love Otter. Okay, I'm gonna go with CC. Not only because I love Nyx and Otter, but because they just look so dominant, and I just can't see them dropping a map. Or I don't know about a map, but like even one map would be like really good. I think. I also think that Pride's wins, you know, are on the cope train now of like where the enemy teams were missing players and stuff like that. But I just think that CC is just looking really dominant, and Pride's last matches could have been fluke, things like that. So if Pride does win, it would be a very big statement. Or even if Pride took like 2 maps, it'd be a very big statement as to how good the team is, and prove that those last couple matches were flukes. I have.
Who's next?
Me?
There you
Yep.
go.
I think I'm gonna give it to CC purely on the basis that if meta had changed from ball comp, I just think that Magic Otter is way too good at the ball, and I really like Aphex. I think this guy who's new to Trank, he's really. I don't know if he's new to Trank. Maybe he has been here before, and I haven't noticed him. But he's new to me, and I really like him. Magpolar, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but you can tell Aphex. He's got my praise because that guy's really good from what I watched. His mechanics are solid, and honestly, I just think CC will probably take it in like a 3-1. They might have beaten Phoenix, but Phoenix were down 2 players, and I can't credit their win. What is?
Sorry. I'm just like looking through like messy gifts that Nola is sending me, and then I come back to chat to see that.
Talk about your real reason why you think CC wins. Oh my god, I hate you so fucking much.
Do it now.
No.
Cloud.
All right, going to the next person. Go to Cloud.
What?
What's your pre?
I will say my predator. I think the real reason why CC will win.
Yeah,
Toxic, what is it?
not- no.
I kinda wanna hear
I
that
don't know
reason.
what he wants from
I
me.
wanna-
I'm on Monty's side. I'm on Monty's side now.
I don't know what he wants
Let
from
the
me,
people
man.
know.
I don't know, man.
Let
I
the
really don't know
people
what he wants.
know.
Here, I'll give my pred. All right.
This-
Do you wanna go? Do you wanna give your
I'll
pred
go,
or
I'll
not?
go,
Alright.
okay. So, I think this will be a pretty dominant 3-1. For CC, I think Otter will just be too good. I think that it'll be just too large of a tank diff to overcome. And I don't think they can mechanically, just straight up, I don't think that Pride can keep up mechanically with CC. Yeah, effects, that guy's crazy. Out of the goat. Honestly, it just comes down to a mechanical issue, and I think CC's just better.
No, I think I understood the joke.
Yeah. So I'll I don't know. I feel bad like all 4 of us going for this match in favor of the Castaways.
Because Clum got it.
But I kind of feel like that has to be it. I mean, Castaways have looked really strong. They're the ball comp, you know, it's their meta, and it's still a comp that you can play a lot of. So I think that they're gonna be good clown with chill.
No, I just realized it. And I realized I was just going on a fucking
Yeah.
rant towards Toxic, and I figured out the reason to it. It's fun.
So I think that I'm gonna give it like a 3-1, maybe 3-2 in favor of the Castaways. But do not be surprised if Pride are able to turn this one around. Wait, I literally did predicting tranquility. Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, you did. You just have the script. You have a script.
Yeah. I literally could just pull up my preds from last night. But I won't do that. I'll go improv mode.
All right.
So the next match we got that we're gonna talk about, I believe, yeah, it is another one that we talked about. It's Trig versus Paradise Lost.
The other
This is
banger.
kind of the winner take all of the pool. Whoever takes this one is most likely to win. Or MB, unless Jellyfish is able to make a comeback. So what are we thinking? We'll do same order. So what are we thinking? Trig versus Paradise Lost.
Team with no points dropped.
Okay. Give me on the bad side of Ash's Twitter, but
No.
it's gotta be a 4-0. It literally has to be a 4-0 for Paradise Lost, and maybe they continue the no point streak. That would be fucking crazy. Okay, that would be nuts if there's still no points. I would.
That would be
Let me tell you, there will be a segment about that next week if there is no points. A whole.
Oh my.
It'll be like.
Well, it's undisputed. Paradise Lost should be number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
Maybe.
No, yeah,
Maybe.
100%.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
If they don't drop a single point against
well, but the
Trigger
thing
A
top
team
six.
that
But, like-
a team
but,
that
like,
consensus
teams, like-
people have in the top 10.
But like teams like MI7, okay, just troll because they don't care about dropping points. Like it's like how Hayden was on Bastion last week and they were all off rolling.
Yeah.
So I still think that. Well, we're not going to talk about like the rankings, but I don't think that it puts them in consensus number 1, even if they just don't drop another point because of how weak their pool is. But like
I guess
said,
that's fair.
4-0, Paradise Lost. Prove me wrong, Trig.
I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. I think so. Having been a teammate of Ash's last season, I know Ash's likes to prepare for matches, and I think obviously Paradise Lost is a very hard team to prepare for because they don't play meta. They play whatever they want to play. But I think if Trig knows that, I think I'm gonna go 3-1 Paradise Lost. I think Paradise Lost is gonna drop a map to Trig. But I could see it being a 4-0 Paradise Lost. And I honestly could see if the Paradise Lost don't drop a map in this game, they're going to go 20-0 and they're going to be like Beach Drop Bears. I were discussing that. So I think I'm going to go 3-1 Paradise Lost. And it's just going to be like one map where, Paradise Lost flip up and they play a comp that Trig can not easily, but do well into.
That's what I was. I have Paradise Lost winning 4-0, dropping 3 total points. All right. And that's because they're going to play some random comp. And then exactly what you just said, Toxic. They're going to play a random comp and then just drop like 2 points and then be like, all right, let's try, guys. And then they're just going to whoop them.
All right, guys.
I think also, Geo, I mean, if you look at their core, Trig, true. Well, actually, that's what I was going at. The Trig's core is a lot of what Geo was last year. And obviously, Geo, very successful in Harmony tier.
Thank you.
Okay.
But no, I think they're just mechanically also. I think Paradise Lost. It all comes down to mechanics for me. Paradise Lost were just mechanically infinitely better than the last 2 teams they played, and it's not just like there's not a large gap. There's still a gap. There's absolutely a mechanic gap in my opinion, but it's not very large. So that's why I'm giving 4-0 Paradise Lost, dropping 3 objectives.
Just called your ass out.
Oh yeah, but like, okay, when people think of Ashes, they don't think of Spuds.
I think Ash.
We think of Geo.
No, I think Ash is of Geo. I think Ash.
All right,
Toxic.
Toxic.
Geo.
You said something that sparked my interest. No, Navino technically isn't like technically a member of Geo. So you said something that sparked my interest. Which is the preparation from Ashes, which I agree because I was like the manager of the team that Ashes coached last season. Like I saw a lot of that. Did Spuds play Doodles last season at all?
No, they were on the opposite side the whole time.
Did you scrim them ever?
Why would we openly scrim Doodles?
I don't know, man.
Who would openly scrim
play Doodles? Come on.
Doodles doesn't even.
I don't know.
Nobody would openly scrim Doodles. That is a death wish.
Because I was just gonna say, like, if you can beat Doodles, like, if Ashes can prep for Doodles, then Ashes can prep for Paradise Lost. So,
yeah, but
I think I'm gonna go here for a 3-1. Trig gets a map. I think Paradise Lost are still very mortal. And I think that this is definitely their test, their real test. So,
Be like Beat Job Cat Boys. what this game's gonna be.
Close
Pride,
4-0.
Four.
Pride CC.
I can see
Close
that.
4-0.
Paradise Lost. Okay, hold on. Null said something in chat. Paradise Lost is like better than Noodles, but I think that they're more easier to prepare for. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
It's
because,
like,
because they still play like
they're not as like
decent
wacky.
comps. Yeah, like we're not
Yeah.
playing, we're not playing Monkey Hog out here. We're playing, like maybe we'll throw an Echo out there or something like that.
Maybe we'll play more conventional Overwatch 1 comps with like Ryan Murciana is what
Maybe.
they're like. That's like I think that's what they like, because I saw them playing like Diva on Dorado. I mean, I don't know. I haven't like
It was good.
yeah, Diva's good. I mean, like I don't remember what comp I saw on Dorado. It was like Diva Murciana or something. But it's just like they play whatever they're comfortable on and what
Yeah.
they want.
I think that's what's best, and they know that, and it suits them, and it works. So
Hmm.
So our next match that we got is MI7 versus Space Created. I think that this is, we have it in the notes as like MI7's first challenge question mark.
That's I write notes. Man.
That's
no,
funny.
like
That's
I guess
hilarious.
real.
What a great
It is
narrative.
pretty real.
Because they played Tampa Bay Tryhards and Wildfire in the last two.
Take a step back. Tampa Bay tryhards don't sleep.
Tom
Trust.
Brady.
on
Trust.
their side. Don't worry.
Stage two, they got it. They got it.
All right.
I believe.
So who's starting
That's
next? Who's doing the
South.
same
Oh,
time?
yeah, okay.
I mean,
Okay, so you probably already heard my take on MI7 indirectly earlier. That even if Paradise lost triple point, I still think MI7 would be number one. Because I think MI7 is just that good, and I actually don't see them dropping a map. I think Space Created can make I think that Space Created could be top 8, but I think that Discord tier is just so fucking top heavy. Like it is like these first four or five teams, and then the rest.
Okay, it's just the 4 teams, CC, the rest of the teams.
Yes.
It's just like
it is like
4
actually
teams,
like,
tier break, CC, tier
Yeah.
break, rest of the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
So
real.
I think that Space Created is a really good team, and, especially after last week, and I'm pretty sure by week 1, so we can really. But I
also
really do.
Sorry.
But I really do like Space Created, but I can't see them winning a map versus them. I have to go 4-0.
You toxic, right?
Okay, so I think the reason like this match was picked is because we rated Puke and Dogs pretty highly in our like power rankings last week, and we said Space Created we don't really know because they had a bye week 1, so we can't say much on them. But they did 3-1 them. Looking at, I didn't watch a cut of this match because I didn't have time, but looking at it, it was a pretty dominant win.
Yeah, Puke and Dogs won the first 2 points. They won Antarctica outright, and then Space Created didn't drop an objective.
One thing I will say though, real quick, is back on the Cope train. Boomcore is on leave.
Yay!
The game.
I mean, I don't know how much Boomcore would have changed this. I mean, I love Boomcore. He was my DPS. He was one of my DPS and Spuds last season. But I think if you're looking at this Space Created, they could maybe take a map off MI7. But like we're saying, MI7 is like one of those teams in like the top 4 or 5 who can't really be touched. So I'll go 3-1 MI7. But I definitely think this is gonna be like MI7's first real challenge in terms of their pool and how their schedule has looked so far.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they get the real challenge in week 5.
Where's almost said Remi7. I almost said Remi7.
What's a cute ship?
Imagine,
Remi7.
The Remi.
Next year, there's gonna be a super team, and it's just gonna be MI7 and Reminiscent just merged, and it's just gonna be.
So Monty can go back home finally.
In the promised land.
All right. So for me, dominant 4-0. I think again mechanically, it's all gonna come down to that. But Monty and Chet, he did bring up a really good point, and it was about Tampa Bay and how Tampa Bay is kind of hard to judge right now, because they got their ass whooped the past 2 weeks, but it was also Rem and MI7, 2 consensus top 3 teams. No matter where you have them in your rankings, they're all top 3. But MI7 just 4-0 dominantly, like not close. So
Yeah. All right.
I think the FBI are like listening to me. My Alexa's just like going off. Like I'm not even saying her name.
Unplug it. I don't trust us. I had a Google Home once, and I was like terrified of it.
Dude, I have Alexas all around my house.
You're
they're always
being
listening.
stalked.
Dude,
No.
China's gonna sell my information or something.
great heavens.
I think it's while these are good matches, I think that it's Lonnie, you've gotta chill, bro.
But he's
He's
just
Um,
never gonna
dropping some
stop.
bangers in chat.
When am
Just
I gonna beat
bangers
these
in chat.
allegations?
so,
The code.
I
Keep
think
going.
that while these are all like very close matches and like definitely the good ones, there is, I think I agree, a distinct tier gap between the top 3-4 and the rest of the tournament. It's I think that Space Created would be the team so far, and even like into next week, would be the team to take a map off of MI7. However,
They play Rem.
yeah, they do. Well, they play Rim week 5. Well, I'm saying like
No, I'm saying does
excluding that map.
Space Created play Rem?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. They
dodge 'em. They dodge
They do
him.
dodge them. Yep. So
So
I think
I'd expect. Okay, go.
I think this is the match that like MI7 would drop a map. However, I think it'll be a map. I have MI7 winning this one 4-0, and I think it would be 3-1 at best for Space Created. Unfortunately.
Mhm.
Unfortunate. 'Cause Space Created has a really cool.
Mhm.
That's like oh dude.
NASA.
Yeah, no, but
Or the-
what team? That Maelstrom that did like the Twitter. They had like the one of their players was chatted up, bro. I was watching it.
Okay.
He was chatted up with their Maelstrom jersey. I think it was Maelstrom. I think it was their.
The crispy?
Oh no, it was a Dread. It was a Dread. It was a Dread.
Oh.
Yeah, they made that Twitter post with their players, the jersey.
Oh, Fuelmaker.
Yeah, Fuelmaker. That's that dude is a big Chad.
All right.
I was gonna say something in chat, but he's typically not right, so that's why I didn't say it.
So the next match we're gonna talk about is Tempest versus Poseidon. Two teams. Tempest is struggling, as we talked about a little bit earlier. And Poseidon are. Well, we've seen one match out of them, I'll say. And then they got a bye. So I think both of these teams are teams that they're in a tough pool, so like they're kind of by default like going to be placed lower. Especially now like Tempest like losing 2 games off the bat. So I think that these are two teams that need a win, and this is the week to do it. So who do we think is winning out of Poseidon versus Tempest?
So it's an interesting match because I think it could be a closer one, but both these teams are kind of unproven. I think that they're looking to prove themselves this week. I think week 3 is a really big prove yourself week for a lot of teams. Like we just talked about how MI7, obviously we know MI7 is good, but like, MI7 versus Space Created, that's a good match, kind of trying to prove themselves. And so there's some other matches out there like the Pride versus CC match where they're trying to prove themselves. So I think this is like the week of trying to prove yourself. And I'm really hoping that this is the Tempest week. I'm really hoping. Okay, Nagi isn't here right now. All right, so there shouldn't be as much cope in the room. All right, shouldn't be as much cope in the room. Okay, but okay, I really do think that Tempest could be a really strong team if they can pull it together. I don't know if Hypno's coming back or when back, but I really do think they could be a strong team. That's why I'm going to say 3-1 Tempest over Poseidon. I believe in them. Hopefully coming back and finishing out the season in a good way. Maybe not being, in the top 4 or top 8 or whatever it is, but, still having a decent.
So give me 1 second. I want to confirm something. I don't think Hypno is on their roster anymore.
Did he leave?
Null DM'd you, didn't he?
No, Null did not DM me.
He DM'd me. He DM'd me that.
It's because I'm in the Tempest Discord and I see that he has no role. And I know that Crispy, who was the cheer director, I think was Crispy was, or Actually, no, try. I don't remember, but Hypno, I'm pretty sure isn't on the roster anymore because he doesn't have the role. So I think because they're missing a main support, I think they're trialing right now. I don't know if they picked up one, but I think without a main support, and if you're gonna have to put Rancid back on the main support, and we saw versus CC in that code, which was a 6-minute code, it's probably going to be very close for Poseidon, and I think I'm going to give it 3-2 Poseidon.
Whoa.
I know but I think because
Yeah.
Poseidon were able to take a map off, even if it was without Magic Otter. I mean, the CC roster is still a pretty strong roster, even without the GM1 tank. So I'm going to give it to Poseidon by 3-2. I think it'll just slip up out of Tempest's hands.
All right, so for me, this game is pretty clear. One of two things is gonna happen. It's gonna be either, I think, the DPS or Tempest is just gonna take over the game. I think Pug's really good. Commercial, I know I think he's a little overrated. So do I, in my opinion. But I think this is just Nagi's. I think Nagi's gonna take over the game here. I think he will be one of the better flex supports in the entire tier, not in just this whatever it's called, this group. But I'm gonna. With that being said, I'm gonna go a 3-1. And if Tempest lose a map, it'd be an earlier map, or it'd be like the first map or the last map. They're gonna win those middle two maps. I just have a feeling. But I'm gonna go Tempest in a pretty close 3-1.
Valid. I think that I really wonder what the mental is like inside of Tempest right now. If they're staying strong after their struggles, I think that it's pretty clear to me who will win. But if they're like kind of like hard on themselves and like they're like, oh, this is just not our season, we're not playing great. Especially after a much more one-sided loss to Castaways. I think that Poseidon could definitely take it if that's the case. I'm someone who I will stick by my ways until I have no reason to otherwise, and I just like the roster so much from Tempest that I feel like I have to predict them at least one more time. But if they lose this week, it's kind of it's rough. It's definitely struggles.
It's like a roster that like came into the season with high expectations, and it's like it's not.
And that can only
as well.
Yeah, the high expectations can only be definitely.
I mean, just look at the names on Tempest. Beppo's been in the league for a long time. Nagi has, Commercial has. I know Pug has, right? Pug's been in it a couple of years.
Last season Harmony tier.
Yeah.
Last season Harmony tier, exactly. So they have veteran players, quote unquote, and I think that's why a lot of people were expecting them to do so well.
I mean, yeah, it's also the we're not going to go into it, but there was like some the guy got fucked over preseason before the season started by some stuff. We won't go into it, but
yeah.
That was been a really.
It's such a tough situation for them. Like I feel like we should not look. I think Tempest stage 1. I don't know. I forget who said this, but Tempest stage 1 versus Tempest at the end of stage 2 will be like right now. Tempest versus Tempest in stage 2. They're gonna be two completely different teams. We're gonna be looking back at that Tempest team, saying, all right, this is, and we're gonna pretty easily show that this is why. Okay, they got screwed over in the off season. It wasn't just in the off season. We're talking like not even like a week before the tournament started.
Yeah,
everything fell apart for them. So
Nagi got screwed over by the same person 2 years in a row.
Don't even mention it. Don't even mention it.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, okay, we're not going into this next. Next game, final game.
Next match is the featured match that we're going to be talking about. Wildwind versus Maelstrom.
Wait, is it the featured?
No, it's Wildcat Boys. My fault. My fault.
Sorry.
But these are that's completely on me. Both of these teams have had some close wins, specifically in 3-2s against their respective opponents from last week. And they also have had some pretty big losses. Or not. Maelstrom lost last week. But they both have a 3-2 win and a pretty solid, like, hands down loss. So I think that these are two teams that kind of are fighting for a in middle of the pack seed, but definitely they're fighting to prove themselves nonetheless. So what are we thinking here? Wildwind versus Maelstrom.
All right, should be a good game. Might not be the featured game, but I highly recommend if someone's gonna stream their side to watch it. Should be a good game, really good game. But I think that Maelstrom looked pretty good. Their matches before, and they did have quite a bad loss last week. But I don't know. I kind of just like their team. Like I watched their team a little bit. I try and watch every team as much. I try and watch all of them like the same amount. And Maelstrom's just like one of those teams I just kind of like to watch. Fun to watch. I don't know why, but they just are. So I'm gonna go a close match. Maelstrom or Wildwind. It could go either way.
I think so. This team, Maelstrom, performed pretty decently, even though it was a 3-1 loss. Like, looking at that map record, it might be like, oh, they just lost to Avalon. I think they performed decently against Avalon. Like, maybe it wasn't their expectation. Maybe they wanted to win a few more maps. But I think an Avalon with Zasper, I know we were talking about earlier when we had the Avalon segment where they aren't like really like contending with Zasper, even though it basically performed the same with and without Zasper. I think you still got to give them credit. I think Maelstrom are looking to be a better team. Like this Hypernut guy, I was watching a few maps of him. He was performing really well from what I saw. Like, he's a very good hit scan, I think, to watch out for, especially on the Bastion. That guy was crazy on the Bastion. So, and while Wildwind are a new team, like they haven't been in Trank before, at least to my knowledge. So I think I'm gonna go like 3-1 Maelstrom here, because it'll be a close match. I think because they're both like in similar in skill level. I feel like, but like Maelstrom probably have the edge.
I think this is gonna be a like Simon said. Although I think like the quote unquote match of the week is Trig Paradise Lost, I think this will be the match of the week, being that this is going to be a really close game. I'm expecting another close 3-2. And I think they're just going to trade maps, and whoever's going to win the first map is going to win the whatever it's called is going to win the game simply because they had map pick like superiority, quote unquote. So I'm going to go a very close win for Maelstrom. But I think this is another opportunity for Wildwind to kind of like prove themselves. They haven't played anybody, right? They haven't played anybody good, at least. Yeah, UV Rays, who we consistently have in the lower spots, and then one more team. Beat Drop, and then they got their ass kicked by Beat Drop, but that's expected. But again, I'm gonna go a close 3-2 for Maelstrom. But if you tell me it's a close 3-2, if you told me that the score was 3-1 Wildwind, I wouldn't be surprised. I think this can go either way. I don't see it being a blowout at all, but I could see either team winning this in a close game.
Me personally, I comparing their the opponents that they've played, their kind of strength of schedule so far, I haven't incredibly been impressed by UV Rays, which is the win that Wildwind has. And Maelstrom still took a win off of Adrenaline, who earlier I said like I wasn't also super impressed with. But I do think that they played a little bit closer of a match against Avalon than Wildwind did, or Rays rather did. And I don't know, it's just like those kind of factors kind of sort of gel together for me. And I just have a lot more faith in Maelstrom. I think I'm gonna give it to them in a 3-1, maybe even 4-0 win. That being said, I haven't done my homework on Wildwind, so I
could go either way.
Yeah, could definitely be 100% wrong on them. I will own that on broadcast. That I don't know them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Maelstrom's like an older team. Like they've been trained before. They did take a break season, I guess you'd call it, last season, and so like
I
both
miss
these teams.
Squall.
Squall.
Squall. Was Squall in season? I don't think Squall was here last season.
They were.
No,
No, they were in
they
season
were?
8.
Oh,
They were season 8. They
Eight.
were our Harmony
Yeah.
season. Yeah, they were our
Let's
Harmony.
keep talking about
season.
Harmony.
Yeah, okay. So, I guess if nobody else has anything else to say, we'll go final segment.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
I can
Boys' choice.
Wait, let me
The
pull
man
it.
who isn't
Whoa,
even
whoa,
here.
whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
wait.
one second.
Oh, wait, we have. Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, you gotta get the codes.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Whoa.
Fuck the
Oh,
code.
don't reveal it yet. Don't reveal it yet.
Boom. Wait, say it.
Wait, okay. Choice.
Okay,
wanna do it?
choice presented by me apparently. It's Magic Otter. The man, the myth, the legend himself. We talked about the whole ton. Man hit GM won this week as well as getting a pretty good 4-0 win. I didn't. I'm just here to present the award. I'm not the one who. I'm not the academy. Yeah. Good job, Magic Otter. See if. No, I'm not gonna make a joke. Never mind.
Make the joke. Do it.
Gibbons stay winning.
I would. I can agree. Magic Otter is a very good player. So, yeah, I get 2 players the week. Wait until Gold Gossip, then I get 3. I get to pick my 3 favorite
We're
players.
leaking names.
No, that's like confirmed. Like if there's a
Yeah.
gold whatever, it'll be Gold Gossip. Unless you guys can
Napalm's
come
gonna
up with something better.
single-handedly be the one to run it because he wants trans tier. He needs trans tier content.
Yeah, trans tier content is kind of dry. We need more.
Nah.
It's literally the only tier that doesn't have one of these shows. Yeah, congratulations to Magic Otter and stop you.
Congrats on
like
hitting
if,
GM1.
the other shit went through. Yeah. Woo.
All right.
See if,
Well, I think that's the end of the show.
Let me say one
yeah,
thing.
clock it in half an hour shorter.
So, again, I want to watch the main sports. I have my tier list, all right? And so I had
Oh,
out
real.
of the 24 teams that played, I have a
You
tier
have a
list.
graphic?
And I know we don't have a graphic.
Aw.
Oh, we
You
should
have a-
we should save that for next week. We're
Yes.
gonna do
So
top
I
eight.
will review the top 8, who in my opinion last week were the top 8. So that
Oh.
is, and this goes in order. Keep in mind, goes in order.
Are we doing that now? I thought
My
that top
opinion.
8 players was next
think-
week.
I think
No, I'm just
Clem's
doing
is
this for
doing
main
his
support. I'm just
current-
doing it for main support.
Clem just has his
Right.
main support, and then we're all gonna do it
Bob's,
next week.
Hayden, Coconut, Boss Sauce, Mixer Kraken, who surprised me the most. Pretty good. Hypnotos, Charlotte, and Mint. And then Vin is like right on the cusp. If you are outside of that top 8 and you want me to watch your gameplay, you want me to like change like your like scores and stuff like that, because I have a scoring metric. If you would like that, shoot me a DM on Discord.
Based off
Other
of
than
how
that.
much he likes you.
So what you're saying is I could possibly change for next week, which we will be doing a segment on top 8 players.
The official top 8 players.
Official Silver Slander
Mhm.
top 8 in each role.
Real.
Yes. I will have a spreadsheet, so it'll look nicer than just Clem saying out loud what he has so far.
Well, I have my spreadsheet. I just don't want to.
No, we're not gonna show that. We're not gonna show that.
Not pretty.
This is like your little
My side
This is-
project.
Side hustle.
what do you call it? This is your promo of
His-
people telling people to go watch codes
His
or give you
passion
codes to watch.
Also,
Yes.
another promo. Play good this week, and then I'll say that you're better than everyone else.
All right. I guess we're done.
Awesome.
Who's that?
Thank you guys all so much for watching Silver Slander
Give
this
us a theme for next week. 'Cause Simon decided on Jersey Days. You guys give us
Oh,
a
yeah.
theme
Yeah.
for what we're
week.
gonna
Pick a
do.
theme. Maybe put it in the what's the one chat? The
Live content.
yeah,
discussion.
live
Live
content
content
discussion?
discussion. Put it in there and like at
Beach.
one of us.
at toxic,
guys-
toxic specifically.
Why me?
Yeah, everyone at toxic.
Yeah,
and put-
Everybody
please
has
toxic.
to at toxic. It has to be
it
toxic.
doesn't count if it's not
Nobody
toxic.
Don't at me. I got enough things.
But thanks everybody for watching. There's more shows this week. Specifically 2 more features. Than Bronze Banter and the Irish and predicting. Oh, and Thuggington, the late night show.
Yes, watch the
I
late night
can't
show.
wait. Late night show.
Watch all the shows this week. Very cool. But yeah, this has been Silver Slander. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Well, I won't, but everybody else will.
Bye.
Bye.